What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys all survived the Jerome Powell craziness that we had yesterday. And we were expecting some craziness, and they delivered, right? So obviously the biggest updates from that meeting is I guess what the market didn't see is there could actually be two rate hikes coming, not just one. Like I said, I was kind of pricing in either a pause or we could get one more that he could sneak in there. But Jerome Powell said, no. We're going to double down. We're going to go for two. But, he can't be that reliable. He can't be that reliable, and the market could just guess him all the time. But, who is reliable? The chat, we got all the people in the house. We got Albert, good morning. We got Alex, good morning. Amy B, good morning. Andy Richardson, good morning. Bill, Brian Reppel, good morning to Kerry, Eric. Fabrice is in the house. Franco, Jenny, Joe, Lauren, Nancy Jones is going to rock with us today. I love it. We got Rick, GJ. I don't know why GJ is always a tongue twister. I'm not sure. We got Ron, good morning. Ron, Wally, good morning. Rado in YouTube land. We got Jeff Pierce, all the lurkers in YouTube land. Good morning to all of you guys that are just sitting there quietly in the background. It's all good. It's all good. Just hit that like, subscribe. I mean, we stream for the low cost of a like. I mean, we pretty much just sell all souls for the like button. That's it. Nothing wrong with it. But if anybody has any, Albert says hot hand Dan. We'll see. We'll try it again. All we could do is wake up every single day and just try to repeat the process. But let's see what we could do. We got the SPY. Yesterday, as I was on the mic toward the latter part of the day, we were going over some gaps and importance of gaps, difference of gaps, how to play gaps, until I just got tired of saying the word gaps, and then we kind of just ended it. But then we went to, all right, well, what could the market do today? And I said, yeah, not sure. Who knows? But I think we stay with inside this candle. So we were talking about this candle yesterday, and we said there's a nice little indecision high wave. I think we could all determine which trend we've got going on right now. It is bullish. We do have to let some of those moving averages catch up if we want to continue bullish. I had 438.91 on my chart forever, and man, I apologize. I was so wrong. We hit like 439.06 or something. So I was off by 15 cents. I'm working on it. I did hit this one back here, 418.31 to the penny, but I could not. I just messed up. Maybe I gotta go meditate or something. I'm not sure, but very, very close. We did get rejected off of that, and we do have some type of indecision candle. Again, I think a pause today. Stay inside. Get warmed up for the quad witching day tomorrow. Could make some sense. And we'll see what we want to do. But like I said, the lowest we could get to the yesterday's range, the happier it would make me. Right now, we do have a slight little resistance above us. That's going to be 436.59. And then the next one obviously comes in somewhere around 437.86, and then back to my 438.91 in the bullish direction. To the bearish side, we do have a little bit more room to the downside. So right now, if we get to the lows of yesterday, that's going to take us to 433.75 on the SPY, which I think is our first little location. This is a open gap. We kind of closed it yesterday with the J Powell madness, and we held that little support. The next one down from there, if it breaks, would be 431.94. And we'll see if we can get some kind of rejection, some kind of maybe that would be probably some kind of ABC. We get another rally, and then if we do decide to pull back again, I essentially come in every single day and just say buy the dip. If you guys haven't noticed, I'll just say buy the dip for now. Eventually, I do think this market will pull back to some extent. I don't know if we get the big drop off. I don't know if we go massive selling. Anything is possible. Anything could happen. But we've survived a lot since last year. We've survived a lot of chaos, a lot of instability in the markets, and we have pulled back like troopers. Does it mean it's got to hold forever? No, but I just do not see signs yet as to what will potentially cause that big sell-off. A pullback, I think, is healthy for the market. If we want to continue higher, at some point we do have to pull back. I don't know when. This would be an interesting spot if we start to pull back a little bit and then we can continue on. But for that big drop, I don't see it yet. I just as soon as I see it, I'll let you guys know. But I just don't see it yet. And if anything, at this point, it's got to be something that I probably will not see. It's got to be that black swan event that almost nobody sees, because everything else is kind of laid out. We have models on every direction possible, bullish, bearish, do nothing type markets, and it's everything is just well too planned out. So unfortunately, we're probably going to need a black swan if we're going to get that next really, really big dip. Maybe another bank going under with a surprise because we thought we got past that. I don't know. Something could be out there lurking, but for right now, I have to play what I see in the charts, and that to me is still bullish. But a pullback would be healthy for the markets. That would actually be healthy for the bulls. That would be some profit taking and give some people that did miss out on the rally the opportunity to reload the boat. But we'll see what's going on. We got the Qs. Rock is in the house. Lauren wants to look at LYV. Yep. If you guys want to type any tickers into the chat pane, go ahead, do so. Because right now we got Qs and LYV, and I guess we just do story time after that. So make sure you guys throw out any stocks you want to take a look at. We got the Qs just hanging out again, a little bit of a gap down. No need to hit the panic button yet. Pete wants to take a look at Tesla. That sounds good to me. Into a little bit of potential support. We're into yesterday's VPOC for the Qs. If you guys saw, NVIDIA was just running like a rabid beast released from the zoo last night. I think that one pulled back a little bit, but that's going to affect some of the tech sector. Tesla has pulled back as well, again. So a little bit of a pullback, but at some type of support. It's going to be interesting to see where the Qs open. If the Qs could hang on to this level, we're going to get probably the next set of resistance around 365.11. Let's see if we could hold that, or it starts to fade back and we just kind of chop. But right now, inside day, big wick at the bottom. So indecision candle from 2 days ago. Clearly, the decision's been made, and we're just kind of bouncing around, and bullish sentiment is still there. Like, we're not buying things. So there's the Qs. Let's take a look at LYV. Is that Live Nation, I think? LYV. I think they have a decent short, or did at one point. LYV. Let's see what their current one is. They got 8% short float. Live Nation. I mean, how else are you going to go see Taylor Swift without Live Nation? All right, so a little bit of a gap up to $88. Closed yesterday at $87.08, so up 92 cents. It's going to run into probably a little bit of resistance. I would assume somewhere around 88.73 if that breaks, and the bulls are stronger than that. That would take us to about $90.86. That could be a decent trade. We are above major resistance with a little bit of a doji indecision. Lots of buying into this. I would say let's see if we could get a slight little pullback. Best price to do it would be 80. What is that? 88 or 86? I can't tell. That looks like about 80, roughly about $86.94, $87. So somewhere in there would be a great price to buy on a pullback. It is gapping above an indecision candle. I'm not sure how much of a pullback we could get. So even if we could get into the 87.51 on a pullback, that would be a number to watch. Then at least you could probably get your stops maybe at the 86.80 zone. But it is a indecision candle. We've made up our minds. But again, really we're not. Indecision is going to tell us that we don't. It's not really a direction candle. It's more of an inflection point onto the markets. So I'd have to use the candle before. That would be a retest. All right, so this one right here with this massive little run up, I think we can see a little dip in this one. It does look interesting. It's got a decent short float, and that one could take us a little bit higher. So I would like to see this, or give me some kind of red selling at open. But I like it. Let's throw it on the list. So far, best stock of the day. I mean, can't argue that logic. All right, we got this. Let's add this right to the top. We'll see. I can't believe Live Nation. I remember Live Nation got absolutely was getting crushed, especially during COVID. They were essentially out of business. For whatever reason, I have a friend. He was just loving Live Nation. He was loving it like up here though. So, and I was like, I don't get it. He's like, concerts. Okay. Yeah, so they made it. Yeah, during COVID, they got back down to like $30. That was incredible buy. This is actually probably a 618 from a longer term perspective from COVID. Yeah, that got us right down roughly to that 618. We double bottomed, and if that's our double bottom, this is 1, 2. We're probably on wave 3. So buy the pullbacks. That would make some sense to me. We are into one of those other levels, could get rejected. It's a small little pullback, and then we continue to run. But Live Nation looks good, probably for more continuation. Pete wants to look at Tesla. We got a Domino's Pizza in the chat. All right, take a look at that one too. Let's see. We got Tesla with a slight little pullback again. Still a little bit of an area of. I mean, this is a retest gap into a little bit of support. It's run, I think like $100 in 30 days, so nothing to see here. But let's see if we come down to like this 248. I was looking for this one for a while. Down to 248.17. So this could be the opportunity. We are breaking above all of those bulls that did buy this thing right back up after or during the dovish Jerome Powell speech. But we do have some levels to possibly save us. So I don't know if this is the day. We are far extended off that 10 EMA. We also have this gap that we could fill. We draw a fib on this one. That would take us to. We got some. This is going to be an interesting one. It's not that far back yet. So the 50% retracement would be this double bottom. I think if we could get down to this like 237.64, that's probably where we got the bulls sitting. I don't know. Actually, this one's a tough one. I go either way. This one technically is a retest gap, but we are breaking down any of the bulls that got in yesterday. So that could give us a momentum. I'm not sure how far this one's going to fall. Probably to that 248 zone, 247. Anything past that, it could get ugly down to 232. So I don't really have a great risk reward on my trade if I was going to take it. If this thing does rally up higher and I want to attempt a short, the highest I could get to, the closest I could get to 258, the happier I would be for risk reward. That would be my short opportunity. Let's see what pre-market's doing on this one. We found a little bit of a base. We're below some of those moving averages. We're trying to rally back a little bit. This is going to be a tough one. This is looking like a decent, healthy pullback. Do we have 5 wave count somewhere built into this thing? You want, I don't know. Even the wave count is kind of just fugazed. I think that's our 3. So this is our 2. That's our 1. This was our previous ABC maybe. And then I think this is 4. So we probably get ripped up at open and then pulls back for one last push. That would give us into that 248 zone. And then maybe this. So I think we still buy the dip, but I don't want to touch it at open. I don't want to go bullish bearish at open. Give me a better level in either direction. But 248 should be a decent line in the sand for it, I would assume. SoFi. And again, the trend is bullish, so you're probably going to have, if I was to flip a coin, you're probably still going to have better luck in a bullish direction. SoFi, SoFi got a downgrade earlier today from like outperform to just perform. This is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and this is a 5. So smaller time frame, 15-minute. We do have a 5 wave count. Not sure how far this one goes. Let's see if we can find some kind of targets to it. Again, massive move. I remember when I bought it for like $5 and sold it at 6. I felt like a champion. I was like, yeah. And then not so much. We're hanging into one little level of support. We just looked at a 15. There is a 5 wave count in there. So if it's going to turn, this is going to be somewhere around this area. So this is going to be an important area to look at, 914. If we can't hold 914, that's probably going to give us a decent move down to like $8.31. That also takes us into this 10 EMA on a daily. So that would be our target if we could get the break. Otherwise, it probably is going to be a little chop at open. But I'll be looking for this to hold and then probably continue to rally at least back to about 50% of that wave count that we did. Probably takes us back to this 974 zone would be interesting, but resistance is going to come in at 949 in a bullish direction. But this is going to be a key level depending on where we open on SoFi. We got AXP. Yeah, there was some kind of weird article that came out that people are spending less on credit, yada yada yada. But for some reason, MasterCard and Visa are not getting hit this morning. American Express is the only one based on the article that is. I don't get it. Why just American Express based off the article? But that's the only thing that I saw this morning on American Express. This is a retest gap, although you are breaking some key levels. So you're at the 10 EMA. Should be a spot where some people might be at least interested to buy. It is a retest gap. Bigger targets for the day would take us back to about 173.43. Going to hit a hefty resistance somewhere in the range of 170.99 to 171.81. So I don't know. I think we do get some type of a retest. It might not be a full-on retest all the way up to some of these bigger levels. But it is gapping down based off, I think, some weak article. I don't really. I mean, I still use my credit card. I thought we were going to cashless society. I don't know. But again, American Express is the only one really getting hit off the article. So it's got some levels of support. Again, probably, I think this is what happens in all honesty. And again, I just don't know if we have good risk reward, but I think we get something like this to come in somewhere around that 172.60 zone, some maybe 172.75. And then we get that eventual pullback, something like this. And then we start to rally. So we do have a wide open gap. That would be an interesting target to the downside. But I think in a longer term picture, we probably look something like that. That would be today. We get some kind of a bounce retest, something to that extent. All right, let's see what else we got. We got Walmart. WMT. I mean, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days in a row bullish. People love to shop for walls, I guess. I don't know. Who would have thought? This would be the most uncomfortable long I've ever seen in my life. Doesn't mean it can't go long. But maybe we get some kind of resistance up. There's not a lot. We have this one little area right here with some resistance. So somewhere in here, we probably start to get a little, at least a little bit weaker for the bulls, I would assume. That's probably in a mini time frame. That's your ABC. So this little move here this is your 1, your 2. I think all of this is your 3. I think somewhere around here we start to rotate 4, 5, give us to retrace to reasonable levels. That would make sense. Otherwise, we are gapping up from the close. This is a retest gap. We're also gapping into yesterday's VPOC. So this is going to be a strong level. This is probably an area where we start to get rejected and maybe we can pull back. Targets today on this one, probably about 156.16. So we'll see, but that is quite the squeeze happening there in Walmart. Domino's Pizza. I don't think Domino's has a high short float. They just make good pizza, depending on who you ask. Also, depending on what time you eat it. 333. What's their commercial? Only fresh ingredients or something? So these guys were getting killed. Looks like we have some. I don't know when this little article came out. Looks like yesterday. Domino's carryout proving to be major growth opportunity. Okay. People getting off the couches and going to pick up their pizza themselves. It's a nice little gap. Again, it is a retest gap, so let's not be the first one to buy it. I'm definitely going to throw this one on the list to go higher, though. Not really a short float. You got the 10 EMA, or you got a moving average starting to swing in. That's going to be somewhere around 319.88. I do like the fact that we have a pretty clear double bottom. You're pretty much breaking that neckline, so some kind of a pullback. And then if we get through that moving average, my longer term target would be about 328. Papa John's has fresh ingredients. No, I thought Domino's made a whole commercial too. I don't know. I didn't see the Domino's one going. We only use stale ingredients, so not sure. But yeah, let's see if we get a pullback on this one. It is technically a retest gap. Let's not be the first one to jump in. That does look good to go bullish, and I do want to stick with a bullish analysis on Domino's. So we'll throw that high on the list. We'll see what we can do with that one. Domino's Pizza. We drop your pizza on the floor first. You're like, yeah, okay. That's some extra seasonings. I'll take it. Domino's Pizza. You'll wish you never ordered. You're like, all right, okay. Challenge accepted. Beyond Meat used to be delivered in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. Yeah, and until they lost a lot of money on that one, I think. Now it's like, we'll deliver when we get there. All right, we got a small little gap down on Beyond Meats. Beyond Meat probably has a decent short float. Let's see. I hope Rock's not here for this. Hope Rock comes in later. Short float. They got a 45% short float. That's pretty high. Very good candidate to be squeezed. Looks like we already had some squeeze momentum on it. We are gapping down, staying inside yesterday's candle, so nothing too crazy in terms of day trade today. If this thing does get any move past 415, that should get very exciting. But otherwise, probably levels to buy off of is $13.13. So 13, two lucky numbers, and we'll see where we go from there. But it does have a extremely high short float. We are definitely starting to break out. Probably another day or two of just kind of resting, and then see if we continue to squeeze a little bit. 100% has some room to go, but it's you're trading this thing because it's not a fantastic investable company, but we're potentially breaking out for some squeezes. So that would be one to watch. We do have some high volume areas, so $15.12 would be my first stop if you're going bullish with this thing. Otherwise, today for right now, we had a breakout. We had one little rest day. We're staying inside that. We do have some moving averages starting to come down on us. Otherwise, yeah, we've got some bigger spots to move. Definitely interesting to watch for a swing. Let's see where the Fibonacci would come in on this one. What would be a 50% retrace? $12.61. That could be doable. It's gonna set an alert. Try to catch a squeeze on this one. for longer term. Interesting. Richard Jet says, what's short float? Basically, it's when you short a stock, that means you're borrowing against it, right? You're hoping it goes down. So you're borrowing from somebody else that owns that stock. So when it says 46% short float, that's 46% of the outstanding shares are actually shorted. So there's a heavy dislike for the company. Typically, like it's going to go lower, but that's where the fun short squeezes happen. So the only way to get out of those, because if you go long on a stock, if a stock is $10 and you buy 100 shares, the most you could lose is it goes to zero and you lost everything you put into it. If you're short on a stock at $10 and it goes to $10,000, you're on the hook for the difference between $10 and $10,000 per share. So you have unlimited risk to the upside. The only way you could get out is to buy back your shares. When you buy back shares, it continues to go higher. That's going to make some more pain for some more shorts. They got to keep buying, and you get these weird, strange, long pops that just make out of control moves. Rock says no longer affiliated with Beyond Meat. Pete wants to take a look at Cat. We got 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Where's my time going? Yeah, little inside day for right now. So not really any type of gap. We are gapping up, but not outside of yesterday's candle. We are at one little resistance spot, so we have to see what this one wants to do. If we could break this 245.43 and hold, next target would be this 248.24. But if we cannot, we have a little bit more room to the downside. That's going to take us to 238.22. So we have to see where this one kind of opens when the market does. Otherwise, bullish has been the direction for a while. We are into a little consolidation. Probably a pullback here would make sense. And we have some room to the downside. So let's see what the market wants to give us today. Let's get some new shares up here. I think we covered everything in the room. I think so. All right. New share. Let's get TOS up here. We'll put Domino's. We'll put Live Nation. I don't know why I turned the company into a French company, but I did. It happened. I can't take that back. All right. We'll get Live Nation on one of these just to see what happens there. We'll throw Domino's down here instead of Oracle. Man, we're rotating to some interesting moves here. Let's see what else we got that came in. Let's put Beyond Meat on the list. Beyond Meat's a little inside. I do have the alert set up on that one. I didn't look at pins. Let's throw pins up here real quick. And let me just take a look on the daily for that one for pins. A little bit of a gap down. This one's already moved a decent amount. Very, very congested area, though. So pins could get a little choppy at open. But unfortunately, that's all my time. I only got 19 seconds left. So YouTube land, I appreciate you guys joining us each and every day. I will be back with you guys tomorrow. Stay safe out there in the market. Pretty light day news-wise today. But we do got quad witching tomorrow. So we're not out of the chaotic craziness yet. Just stay alive. We got next week. And next week we can make some